I've got a love-hate relationship with modern living. On one hand, it's amazing that I can look at this camera and potentially change millions of lives at the point of a click. On the other hand, it's been 9 AM since I've been sitting at this desk. I can start to feel my upper back starting to get sore. Don't get me started on my hips and my low back. And once the day is done, I will have sat on my desk for about 5 to 6 hours or more, which is not good. And a lot of people say that sitting is the new smoking, and I have to agree with them, So sitting for long periods of time leads to some nasty shit. Obviously, you know this stuff, so I'm just gonna review it for you, but it leads to poor posture, obesity, weight gain, neck and shoulder and low back pain, increased risk for depression and anxiety. Humans were meant to move, but modern life doesn't really promote that, now does it? So in today's video, I want to share with you some of the most effective ways to reverse the effects of sitting. Think of this as a checklist of behaviors to follow so you don't fall prey to the nasty things that I just talked about above. Before doing that, I'm going to start standing because I need to do this. All right, so I'm going to start with the easiest one right here, which is going to be walking. Now I know, fucking boring. I get it, all right? But walking is literally the most underrated exercise on the planet. When you sit, basically what happens is that you constrict blood vessels in the leg. You also decrease blood flow to the brain. If you get about short 15-minute walks 2 to 3 times a day, it is enough to reverse this. And also, something that you may not realize with some of the world's best thinkers. You have Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, and you also have Cal Newport, you also have Carl Jung. The thing that they have in common is that they used walking as a way to increase brain power and creativity. So if you want to reverse the effects of sitting, the very first thing that you gotta do is just go out and take a walk. Next, when you sit for long periods of time, your hip flexors tend to shorten and tighten. When they do this, they actually lead to a cascade of low back problems and also knee problems. And an effective way to combat this is called the couch stretch. So the couch stretch extends the hips and increases your range of motion in the quadricep. When you get full range of motion in these two areas, you are essentially setting yourself up for a lifetime of good health and mobility. Now, the beginner version is to put your leg on the couch while bringing up your body upright. If that's too tight, then you take the pressure off by leaning forward. The advanced version is actually leaning your front foot on the wall in the very same position. If you do this for about 30 seconds to about 1 minute daily, you will reap the rewards of better hip mobility, and that will go a long way to reversing a lot of the effects that you get from sitting. Next, we want to work on our core. Okay, so when you're standing up or moving, your core and back muscles are working to keep you upright, but when you sit, your muscles aren't really working. They're actually remaining passive, especially when it comes to your core. So over the course of time, these muscles weaken and can lead to low back pain, as well as a host of other negative things that happen in the body. And that's why we want to do the McGill Big 3. So this consists of the McGill Crunch, the side plank, and the bird dog. This works because they actually activate the major parts of your core: the transverse abdominis, the internal and external obliques, the erector spinae, the diaphragm, the pelvic floor muscles, the rectus abdominis. When you do these, make sure that you are bracing your abs to activate them. And I always say to clients, bracing means that if Mike Tyson were to punch you in the stomach, would you suck it in or would you push it out? You would want to push it out as hard as possible. That's what bracing means. So want to make sure that we are bracing while we're doing these exercises. That is going to go a long way to giving you more core strength and stability. Next are going to be glute bridge holds. So your glutes are supposed to be one of the strongest muscles in your body, but when you sit for long periods of time, you put pressure on your glutes, and this actually keeps them in a lengthened position. When this happens, your hip flexors get tight and then your glutes start becoming weaker. Now, the glute bridge hold helps you remind your glutes or your butt muscles to start using them while you are strengthening them in a safe way. So if you suffer from low back, then this may actually give you some relief, as the activation in your glutes takes the pressure off of your back. So the way to do these is by simply lying down and raising your hips, using your heels, mentally focusing on your glute muscles contracting. And I like to say that the way to make them contract is to pretend as if there's a quarter in between your anus and to squeeze your butt cheeks together to amplify them and try to crush that quarter together. You want to be aiming for about 12 to 15 reps every single day, and this is one of the best ways to activate your glutes, especially if you sit down for long periods of time. Next, we have what we call passive bar hangs. This is not about going to the bar and hanging out and having a couple drinks. These are actually one of the most underrated exercises on the planet. So when you sit for long long periods of time, your posture starts to round and your shoulders start to turn in. When you hang from a bar, even for like a couple seconds, this helps you make corrections to your posture while also decompressing your spine. And also one thing is that grip strength is an indicator of how long you'll live. This is one of the best exercises, regardless if you sit at a desk or not, that you can do. If you hit 30 seconds, then you're pretty much good to go. If you can hit 1 minute, then you are pretty much advanced. One thing I will say is that if you can't hit 30 seconds, you've got some work to do because this is actually a big indicator of how long you're gonna live and also how well your body actually works. So we want to work on passive bar hangs. We do this for about 30 seconds to 60 seconds every single day. And if you want, or if this is too difficult for you, you can actually put stuff on your feet to make sure that you're feeling supported as you're doing this. And lastly, we have something that we call neck cars. So when you sit for long periods of time, you put force on the discs in your low back. This forces the muscles in the back of your neck to contract and actually hold the neck up. When you do this for hours on end, it may result in neck pain or stiffness over time. So neck CAR stands for controlled articular rotation, which is a fancy way of saying that you're taking your neck through a full range of motion. Now on this video, you're gonna see a video of myself doing the neck CARs, and basically what you're gonna see is my hands are out, I'm rotating my neck one way, then I'm rotating my neck the other way, and I'm doing this within my own range of motion and in a controlled fashion. You want to do about 4 to 6 reps on each side. You can start your mornings off with this. I do. Sometimes when you're doing this, you may actually hear a couple of clicks. That makes you wonder what exactly is happening in your neck. But again, this is a very controlled exercise. Make sure you do it slow and work within the range of motion that you have available to you. In summary, sitting is pretty much the new smoking, but you can do something about it. So incorporate a few of these into your busy lifestyle so you can protect your body from the nasty effects of sitting. You don't need a gym. There's zero downsides to doing any of these. It's essentially a win-win if you ask me. So try these out. Let me know how they went. And yes, if you got some value out of this, please like and subscribe to the video, and I will see you on the next one. And every single video that comes out is aimed to make you a better human being. So I'll see you next week. Take care and peace.